Expansion.
We're live. Yes, we are. Ladies and gentlemen, bienvenidos, señoras y señores, chicas y chicos, boys and girls.
In English?
We can do it in English, a little bit in Spanish if you like.
That's okay.
We had a small conversation before the show because some days ago when I began this conversation with Adrian about getting you guys on, we said, we're going to do it in Spanish. And then I thought, maybe we can do it in English.
I feel more comfortable in Spanish, in English. Otherwise, my Spanish, everyone will give me shit for it.
Nah, I mean, look, I think it's more about what the intention is of the show, and very much so, this is a very positive, very interesting story and message for our general Latino community in Sydney and Australia. And for all of our friends in Latin America, feel free to watch the show, but just learn how to speak English. Bienvenidos.
Yeah,
thank you so much for joining us, man. It's a real pleasure to have you guys here. For all of our friends at home, the Caycho family, very involved in the Latino community in Sydney for many, many years. And we're going to go into that because I know it's a very long story, a long and successful story. And I'm sure there's going to be many interesting messages to come out of that. Mainly they work through Atitax, which is a massive accounting firm here in Sydney. There aren't that many, unfortunately, sort of positive successful business stories within the Latino community. There are many. I shouldn't say that it's all doom and gloom, but you hear of many failures and people kind of sort of cutting corners and this and that. And I think in some ways Latinos might be a little more renowned for that, but in your case, very successful story. And one of the reasons why I wanted to have you guys on here is because of that, and also because you guys have been doing lots of charity work and community work. And the Caycho family are quite well known in Sydney through other avenues as well. So we're going to talk a little bit about that too. Pero Adrian, Don Julio, welcome to the show. Bienvenidos.
Thanks, Rafa.
Thanks for joining us. Before we go anywhere, I just want to send a big shout out to our foundation sponsors, Crash Claim, meeting friends by accident, not making friends by accident. Crash Claim, shout out to the family over there, Nick Karagianis and the whole crew. And a big shout out also going out to Q Corp Construction. Thank you for your support. And if you'd like to support the show, Possible with a set, Possible with a Z is where you can do that, guys. Thank you so much. Gents, I'll probably start with Julio simply because, naturally speaking, his story begins before yours.
Elders first.
But it's father-son.
That's right.
Yeah.
So not only is it the first time we have father-son on the show, but it's the first time we go 2-on-1. Now, we had a bit of a laugh about that before the show, but we won't talk about that on camera. When I mentioned it's the first time I do a 2-on-1, they all laughed at me. But
I'm sure it's got a meaning to it.
But this is the first time we have two guests in the studio, which is awesome. And we are set up for that, as you can see. It didn't just happen miraculously. And here we are. So Julio, please tell us a little bit about your story coming to Australia. You guys are from Peru originally.
That's correct.
Peruano.
Sí.
What city in Peru is your family from, my friend?
Lima.
Oh, okay, the capital.
The capital, Lima, yes.
Okay, beautiful. Yes. I have been to Peru. It's a very beautiful, amazing, stunning country.
You haven't been where he grew up, though. No way.
I've been to El Callao.
Yeah, similar to it.
So, El Callao, you know what? When I travel, obviously we all want to do, the must-dos. But I have been to, I like going to El Pueblo.
Yeah, of course.
And shout out to my boy Rafael Guerrero. When I went there, his family accommodated me. They took me around. They showed me around. His uncle is La Enciclopedia. They call him in his family. He knows everything there is to know about Peruvian history and all these things. And it was amazing. And I went to El Callao. I went to El Cañón del Callao, and I went to where they were from originally, his family, and I walked around Lima. I actually got followed around a little bit by some kids and stuff, which was a little bit interesting for a while. But incredibly run tourism, yeah? Anybody out there wanting to see, the Inca sites, Inca Trail, Machu Picchu, you will not be disappointed. And the food.
Yeah.
La comida peruana.
That's amazing.
Not the first Peruvian guest on the show. We had DJ CBD on here once, who's one of your big representatives. But Julio, please, if you would like to pick up the story wherever you would like to pick it up from,
yes.
Coming to Australia, or perhaps your education, your formative.
Mm-hmm.
What year did you come over to Australia? Please tell us.
I came in 1980. I came with mom and dad and brother and sisters.
Uh-huh.
Unfortunately, all the family couldn't come because the family was too big.
Sure.
And so we arrived here in July in 1980. And at first, as every family goes through, it's big hard,
Sure.
especially if you don't speak English and
Sure.
you have to learn English and
Yeah.
go to the school.
Long
But
way from home.
back then, it was easier to study or learn English because you had the schools from the government that
A lot
they
more
helped you
support.
More support. That's
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah, I believe so. I've heard that story. Yeah.
And it was good in that way. And the classes only when they had an English class, there were 4 angels in there. The name by angel, one Spanish, one Peruvian, one from different countries. It was funny that the teacher said angel, and all the 4 of us sort of stood up.
Oh, okay.
And say angel, and say, oh, all right, okay. And so that's when I decided to change my name to Julio.
Oh, okay. So
Because
originally your name is Angel.
They call me Angel in Peru.
Ah, okay.
But my name is Julio Angel.
Ah, Julio Angel. Ah, okay.
So
I get you.
I
get
changed
you.
it to Julio. So
Sure.
when we were having in the English teaching, when they
Yeah.
say Angel, I didn't answer. So there was Julio. There wasn't the only one.
Ah,
Much
okay.
easier. So
Uh-huh.
that's why my name sort of is
Became.
my name.
It was
became
already
a-
your name, but you began using it.
That's
okay.
right. It's
How many
easy.
brothers and sisters?
Here, one brother
One brother in
and
Australia.
2 sisters.
And 2 sisters. Ah, okay, cool.
Yes.
Okay.
And
And
the-
originally?
Originally, we were 7. Now one passed away back a few years in 1986.
7. Wow.
Originally, yes.
Yeah.
And
Mum
they
and dad
only-
quite busy.
Yes.
Making the world full of caichos.
No,
Yeah.
no TVs back then.
No
No
TVs,
TVs
no.
back
I
then.
know, yeah, I know. And lots of
No.
coca leaf. Coca leaf tea. That's what it does to you.
So it was a bit harder at first. My
Yeah.
first job was in a factory and
Sure. How old were you when you came, sorry?
20.
20 years old. All right. So
It's
a
about
man,
40,
yeah, a young
40
man,
years
but
old,
very much a
yes.
man. Okay, sure.
Yes, and the first job was hard as normal. Everyone that came here was
Yeah.
hard to learn, mainly because of the language. You
The
have
language, of
to
course.
grab anything to survive
Yeah.
back then. And I moved from there to selling furniture and white goods
Uh-huh.
for a few years.
Sure.
And then decided to study because I thought the opportunity to make a future here in Australia, if anyone wants to make a future, then make it happen.
Yes,
Don't have to
indeed.
tell them. And
Indeed.
it have to be within you to sort of succeed in this country if you really
Yes.
want to.
Mm.
And that's what I did. I thought I'm not going to become just a nobody. I want to be somebody for the future.
Sure.
And I got married, had 2 kids, went to TAFE for 5 years, and I got my degree in accounting.
Whilst the same time working and earning a living
Oh,
and paying
yeah, it
bills,
was
and that would have been quite a tough
Working,
period. Yeah.
studying, and weekends. I remember when I had final exams and we had a sort of a birthday party of the family. I used to go only for a couple of hours because I had to study.
Wow.
So a bit of sacrifice. I stopped playing soccer that I loved.
Actually, for some reason, I wanted to ask you about football because a lot of our people, they come from our countries, and one of the ways they kind of still connect is food and family, but football, and then I know
Yes.
especially back in the day there was quite a serious sort of Latin football community thing happening with
Yes.
countries playing each other and
That's
everything.
Ethnic
Yeah,
cup.
yeah, that's
Yes,
right.
the ethnic, that was back then.
Yeah,
So when I finished study, I decided to get back into soccer again, and
Yeah.
I did. Fortunately, a friend of mine who is Argentinian, or is Argentinian.
sorry to hear.
No,
Shout out
that's
to
a
all
good
my
one.
beautiful Argentinian
Yeah.
friends. Lo queremos mucho.
And
¿Qué hace, bro?
yeah, no, and anyway.
No, boludo.
Emiliano.
Emiliano
Yeah,
Bonacori, my man. Javi.
And I met a friend, and he saw my son Adrian with Martin. They were little ones that were just starting their soccer career back then, and
Uh-huh.
he asked me to go and play for soccer, for Argentina. I said, why not? And that's when I started my career here playing football
Sure.
with Argentina, and I played for 25 years with them.
Opa.
Yeah.
What was the name of the club?
Alu.
Alu.
Ah, okay.
You
Yes.
you would know plenty of
Yeah, of
people from there.
course.
Juanpa.
No. I know
Yeah, it's a
roughly. I know a good
Yeah,
deal
it's
about
a-
them, even though I
yeah.
wasn't there myself. Because I've spent time in both countries growing up, but I know all the stories. I know the club names, and my family had a lot to do with Welcome, Welcome.
Yeah,
and
they were
a few
very
other-
well
yeah.
known club then.
You
Yeah.
probably know the Bonazos as well.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, they were very heavily involved with the club.
Yeah,
Dennis,
yeah.
Christian played with my dad. For 95, they won the championship. So
Uh-huh.
they played
Yeah.
together
There
with
you go.
Gus,
Yeah,
reserve grade keeper.
Ah,
Christian,
okay.
first grade with Duncan.
I have to,
and-
sure.
had to put it over reserve keeper. Come on.
Yeah,
No, that was
that's
good. That was
awesome.
good. That was good era in playing soccer.
Great time to be alive too.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, no internet,
Yeah.
no cameras.
Yeah, that's right.
Good times.
No
No
COVID. No
bar.
COVID.
No,
No COVID. Por
Yeah.
favor, no empecemos con eso.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I met a few good friends through my soccer career when I was
Yeah.
playing with Argentina.
Hmm.
And all the kids now, are very good friends as well. So it was
Great.
a great family within the soccer community where I was
Great to
playing
hear.
with Argentina.
Yeah.
That's my career in soccer.
I think one of the negatives, let's say, of modern day society, I mean, the more modern day society, let's say 2020, is the watering down, let's say, of community, el barrio, los vecinos, la comunidad, people sort of getting together more and sharing that little bit more and knowing each other more face to face instead of just via social media and WhatsApp and calling each other and sending each other messages. And I look back at those times, whatever little involvement I had, obviously I was very young and whatever, but I remember that feeling, I remember going to events with my family and running around with all the kids and playing sports with all the kids, and they would do their things and listen to their music, and the bands will be playing and there'll be food and they'll give chats and talks, and you could tell there was like a real sense of community, So
Hello, we used to go there Friday nights after school, and I used to stay there out at Fairfield, Canley Heights, until Sunday.
there you go.
And then if they had won on a Sunday, and we would hope they would get drunk, so we could
Stay even longer.
maybe get the Monday off school,
Oh, wow.
because they would be partying, and
Yeah, that's it.
we would be like, let's please
Uh-huh.
get drunk,
Yeah.
So
have a
you
good
have to
win,
drive, yeah.
and then they don't have
Uh-huh.
to drive. We stay out there. Well, I don't have to go to school. So
True. Well, there you go.
it was a
That's
win.
interesting. Well,
It's a
those
win-win
stories.
situation.
Yeah,
Yes.
those stories. You see,
Yeah, they were
that's
very good
that's
stories and we
yeah.
Doesn't happen anymore.
Soccer.
Unfortunately, look, I'm sure it happens, in some degree, shape, or form, but perhaps a lot less than what it used to. And it's not necessarily an ethnic thing. I wish it just could be across the board. More community activities. Australians, Anglo-Australians, Asians, just everybody. Doing their thing and getting out more, and especially now through this whole COVID period where you feel like the world's taken a sharp turn towards an uglier place than we were originally. But so marriage came before accounting or after accounting?
Marriage before I started studying.
Sure.
Yes, I got married, and then I decided to study
Sure.
a couple of years later.
Before kids? Accounting?
No, I had Christian first, and no, I wasn't studying then. When
Okay,
I had
cool.
Adrian, I was.
So-
No, actually, Adrian was born when I had an exam in the night time, and I took my books.
I was born at TAFE.
I took my books to the hospital before the mother,
Okay.
gave birth, and I went in the morning, to say, okay, because the first born Christian, he took
Yeah.
about 15 hours to get out.
Wow.
Born, and with
Christian.
Adrian, they said, no, it's going to be the same. So I took my books to study for the exam in the night time, and the day before, the doctor said, no, he's going to be born at 9 o'clock. And I said, yeah, right. Yeah, took my books, went to the hospital, set up to study, was born 9 o'clock in the morning.
Sorry to interrupt your studies.
Yes.
Julio.
I couldn't. When
Julio.
I went to obviously for the exam, I couldn't concentrate.
Yeah.
I failed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, you got a good excuse.
Yeah. But
At
anyway,
least for
that
one.
was low anyway, so I didn't. That was my first year when Adrian was born.
But I would dare
surprised.
say that I'm sure you were a dedicated person to begin with, but the wife and then the kids took it to another level. Your commitment to get somewhere, right?
That's
Because,
correct.
yeah,
Yeah, career and
Sure.
studying, and that pushed me to
Yeah.
sort of study.
bit of a
as
slap in
well.
the face, no?
Yeah. And no, it was actually was now I remember it was hard. It wasn't easy
I'm
because
sure.
I was from 7 o'clock till 9, 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Working, studying,
Yeah.
and doing the homework after.
Yeah. Yeah.
Coming from TAFE.
Yeah.
And it took a few years.
Mm.
And yeah, no, I don't regret it, but that's what this country offers you to
Sure.
better yourself.
Yes,
if you really
indeed.
want to, like I
Yeah.
said again,
Mm.
And I took the opportunity and I did it. And through the years, I worked and I was offered to work for tax agent in Summerhill.
Uh-huh.
And I did it, and from then just move on slowly
Sure. Into
with the
your own thing.
community and through
Yeah.
my own thing.
Yeah.
Having
Networks, no? Right? You
that's
get to know
right.
people, they
Networks
come to
and
you.
people,
Yeah.
and that's the way the business have grown. Then with look, every business got their up and downs.
Of course.
I can't say we're the best or the worst, but we'll
Sure.
try to do our best for the community.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's what we're doing.
Well,
really.
from what I've seen over the years, the presence has always been there. How long has Atitax been around for?
I think tax has been over 40 years
Sure.
in Summerhill.
Sure. So you acquired that company, or you became a part of that
No,
company?
I acquired the company about
Okay,
12
sure.
years, about what, 6 years ago.
Okay,
I
sure.
acquired,
Okay, sure.
the part of the company, and now
Yeah.
just with my son, we just run it.
So up until then, were you working for the company, and then the opportunity came to take over?
That's correct. Yeah, I was
Okay,
working
sure.
for the company. They gave me an offer, and I took it, and 50-50. And after came the opportunity to get the whole company, and I did. It wasn't easy though.
Oh,
It's a lot of work.
Of course,
It wasn't just
of course.
overnight,
If it
yeah.
was easy, nobody would want it.
That's correct.
But you began working with Atitax what year? Just so we get an idea, because you've been
2006.
okay, sure. So it's 14 years you've
The
been
World
there.
Cup.
correct.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. World Cup.
Oh,
year.
okay, that's how you remember.
No, I was in hospital that year too. I
really?
remember that. Yeah.
I remember by World Cups too. A lot
I
of
remember my
stuff.
dad had to go to work, and I was in hospital with a broken leg, and he had to go back to the hospital because he just started. He couldn't have time off, so
Sure.
he was going back and
Yeah.
forth and stuff. So I remember clearly
Yeah,
when it was.
I know my accountant who's also quite a good
Who's
friend.
not us?
No, funnily enough, no.
That's good in a way. We get the person and the business sort of
Separate.
Separate.
Yeah,
That's good, yeah.
I mean,
In a
we haven't even had that conversation. But anyway, it is what it is. And
It
my
is.
accountant, I might call him at 9, 10 o'clock at night, send him a message or whatever, and he's still in the office, like 5-6 days a week. And I think you guys have your big peak seasons, right, with all the
Yeah.
the reporting season and everything. It's a fun career you've chosen for yourself.
Yes,
It's very sexy.
if you look at Adrian, yes.
Accounting.
It depends on the
Yeah.
area of accounting that you're gonna go into.
Sure.
It's different venues
Forensic
of
accounting.
Forensic accounting. That's very interesting. Forensic.
I'm sure it is.
Yes.
So, name me one other area of accounting that's interesting, please. Enlighten us, all of us.
Commercial accounting, industrial accounting,
Sure.
cost accounting.
Okay.
There is different,
Yeah.
And the other day, actually, I found out there was an accountant just specialized only on artists,
Okay.
which I've never heard of it. But I
Yeah.
know there are specialists of different type of occupations in the community.
Yep. Makes
In
sense.
English,
Makes sense.
So,
Yeah. Well, I mean, the world doesn't function without numbers and without accountants, right? I mean, it goes hand in hand with making a living, so it's
makes
unavoidable.
it easier.
Yeah.
Makes it easier for
Of
other
course.
people. Yes.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And a good accountant can make a big difference. I can speak for myself. I consider myself very lucky. I've got a great relationship with mine. He's a fair man. He's not shifty by any chance. And I think that the general basis is to bend the rules as much as you can, but you don't break the rules, because then obviously there's consequences that come with that.
Of course, yeah.
And unfortunately, you hear of all these people that, I mean, I hear people bragging about their accountants and how they do this and that. And I'm thinking, I don't know if you want to go down that way, because the way the system is set up, it's almost inevitable that eventually, the hammer's going to come down on you if you fuck around too much. So I think within reason, you got to play the system, but stay within the system. I think that's
and that's what I guess part of the learning is for anyone that comes to see us,
Yeah.
is that we tell them
yeah.
and explain everything to them, so they
That's
know
right.
for the following year. Like if you explain to them the first year, then second,
Fair
third year,
enough. Yeah.
they know exactly what the expectations are and how.
But you do get a lot of people coming in saying, I don't want to pay any tax, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
That's Adrian. Oh, my friend told me that they didn't pay, so I don't want to pay. Or
Yeah. All of that.
it all.
Yeah.
Dad's had it for years, I'm sure. It's part and parcel. And given the fact that we're dealing with Latinos as well, they're renowned for.
Yeah. We love cutting corners.
Not the cutting corners, more so the negotiation.
Yeah.
More so the.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, he's small and come on, man, help me out and come on. Yeah.
It's Adrian or Julio. It's come on, $100 less or so, like whatever it is.
Okay, negotiating. Yeah.
I'm sure you can do something. They're always trying to push that next, which is great. That's the big thing in the Latino community is that.
Yeah, well, I think it comes hand in hand with that kind of community mindset, no? Los vecinos. I mean, back home we have a lot of that, right? We help each other out as much as we can and whatever. So I understand that we're slow, but you guys have a great presence within the Latino community and outside, but in the Latino community in particular.
Yeah.
So that's been a focal point. So when you started as a accountant with Added Tax, I'm assuming they didn't have many Latinos coming because did they have any Latin staff, Latino staff?
Yes, the original owner when I started was from Uruguay, or is from Uruguay.
There's always a Uruguayan somewhere.
Somewhere
Siempre hay
along the
uno.
line.
Vamos a tomar un mate por mi país.
And,
Estamos un poquito rengo que perdimos con Ecuador hoy, pero...
let's not talk about soccer. Right?
We say we're not going to talk about football. Sorry.
It's a sub point at this stage.
Total.
Yeah.
Let's change the topic real quick.
So then he gave me the opportunity and I'm very grateful there. But as the year came,
¿Cómo se llamaba el hombre?
Se llama
Roberto. Roberto,
Yeah.
saludo para Roberto. I'm sure he's going to tune in sometime.
Probably not.
Probably not.
He doesn't know how to use YouTube.
Se lo mandamos, pe.
different ways, I mean,
Yeah.
things happen during the years, good or bad or otherwise. You go all these experiences that you live on, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who has had that experience with different people in different areas.
Of course, yeah.
And fortunately, I came on top of things, regardless of what people have done to Added Tax.
Yeah, I get you.
And we always up front, surviving there, helping the community one way or another, and giving them as much as information as we can to help them out for the following years, as Adrian mentioned it before,
Yeah.
And that's a good plus.
Well, I mean, a 14-year trajectory, doesn't
That's only
come...
as a tax agent. As an accountant, I got 40 years.
40 years. Wow.
40 years as an accountant, yeah.
So before Added Tax, it was. I'm assuming you had a few
was
roles in different places.
That's correct. I was financial controller for a company in the construction industry. I saw a variety of trades. Then that's where I got the experience now when I do the taxes. That I tell people on what I know, and they probably were not aware of the things that they should get and should not get.
Sure.
And that's why it makes it more interesting, more enjoyable, to say the least.
And I would dare say that your work in all these places was where the network began building and people getting to know you and referrals and starts with the family and the friends of the family.
Word of mouth, that's the main thing. Also, we help other people. I mean, I'm being grateful to all the DJs that have given us a hand in promoting our company as well. And that's been great. I mean, my brother and yourself, or other people that have helped us. Yeah.
So you mentioned DJs. One of the most famous Latin DJs in Australia, well known even outside the community, of course, is DJ Dante Rivera.
That's
who
right.
is
live on radio at the moment, but
he's bellissimo.
He's got his radio on at the moment.
It's my brother.
Dante Rivera is your brother.
Yes.
And you said there was seven of you.
That's correct. 5 of us
came.
No. 5 of us was from the first dad, my dad, mom and dad. And Dante and my sister, they were from the second, not marriage, but that fortunately got married a second time, had 2 more kids. So 7 altogether.
Is Dante the youngest?
No, he's the
second youngest.
Second youngest, yes.
Okay, cool. I know Dante very well. Shout out to Dante Rivera. He's been working tirelessly for Latino music and Latin house and everything. And I remember crossing paths with him many times back in the beginning in the late 90s, which for me is a long time ago, but for him is not that long because he began much, much before then. Dante Rivera, big shout out to him, and I recognize and I pay homage to all the work that he's done in the community and continues to do in the community as a DJ. But so the networks, personal networks, is how I guess the company and the work begins to go out there, and that's something that you guys have continued till this day because there's a lot of involvement in the community with Added Tax and the accountancy side of things, no? Being involved with events and things like that, no?
Sponsoring. We try to, I guess, as soon as I got involved with the company.
What year was that, brother?
That was 2000. Oh, I had a previous involvement, which was after I broke my leg as well.
Sure.
I went and helped out and got to learn things there.
Are you an accountant too?
No, so I've got the experience through Dad. That's
sure. But you don't have the license.
No,
okay, sure.
Everything through my dad.
Yeah, so you all the support stuff and experience. I know you do social media as well. And
exactly. So I do all the social media. Yeah. When did I join? It was 2018, I think it was, in February.
Cool. Okay, cool.
And
because I remember speaking to you prior to that, like many years ago, and I don't recall, not that I said to you, hey bro, what are you doing for work? But I don't recall you sort of really mentioning or being involved in, but then in the last couple of years, I saw like, the
so I was working in the corporate world since 2006.
Sure.
But I actually had a bit of experience back then with the company and knew the sort of the processes, but having that corporate background, you can apply certain sort of things, strategies and certain processes.
Administration,
and the marketing, obviously.
Of course.
We'd never I didn't see much marketing being done in the groups.
Sure.
When I started, which was then
social media we're talking.
So social media, yeah. Social media in general wasn't if I'm wrong, you can correct me, but I don't think businesses were using social media, especially Facebook, as it started really that year, 2018, 17, 18.
Sure.
In the Latino anyway, from what I saw.
Sure.
Taking off then.
Okay.
So I only started noticing it when I started doing it. I'm not sure if that was the case or whether...
I can't speak on that specifically for accounting, let's say, as an industry.
I know from the clubs and stuff.
As you say, I also don't recall seeing much activity, but usually what happens is once someone goes, especially an established player, then other people's follow. So I'm not surprised to hear perhaps that is the case, that you guys kind of went first and then everyone else followed.
Well, you see your competitors out there and you take note, and
of course,
as you do, everybody does, and I think there's a mutual respect between us and our bigger competitors out there.
Good to hear.
Sure. We don't know each other. We know who each other. Everyone knows who they are, but it's just you go on day by day. They're not going to stop us from working, doing what we do, and us when we're stopping them. So,
you run your own lane.
At the end of the day, it's a merry-go-round in this business. I mean, you see clients come back from 2 years ago, they come back to you,
of course,
and I'm sure they've got the same. And as I say to many people, there's enough
to go around.
There's enough many people in the community to service and to be serviced.
Many staff in the company today.
At the moment, we've got six.
Okay, sure. That's a lot of work, man. Because I know accounting is full on and a lot of hours and everything.
Yeah, the girls do a great job. We have Karina, Lelis, Joanna.
Shout out to all the girls.
And they do an amazing job, and they've had to step up when they needed to as well.
Sure.
They're good stories on themselves. They're students, and we like to help overseas students, and give them the experience to come to Australia. And if they're accountants or wherever their field is, we've always tried to give someone experience and give them that opportunity.
Sure.
And the girls have taken it in this case. So
I find in my own work the level of appreciation when people are given a job, when they are slightly more desperate, let's say, is higher. And they're more engaged and perhaps more committed than perhaps a lot of the local kind of younger kids that are more like,
it's not perhaps, it's the truth.
Yeah.
The honest truth is that if you have a student from Colombia that's working in cleaning, let's say, or housekeeping or Uber riding, and they have an opportunity to do something in
admin
in another area that's potentially going to assist them in the future.
Sure.
They're going to work 40 hours or as hard as they can in that space.
Yeah, I get
because
you.
they don't take it for granted. Now, if you flip it and someone that was born here, and I've seen it with my own eyes, they don't apply themselves as much as
I hear you.
The student. Not saying that they don't apply themselves, it's not as much as the student.
Well, like there's obviously good and bad examples on both of those. But generally speaking, I agree with you, and that's why I can definitely share that as well. I've had lots of people come from overseas and join the team and the clubs and events and stuff that I do, and they definitely, want to be there, and make something of it as much as they can, and their level of appreciation and commitment and everything. So we've spoken a little bit about la historia del Don. Tell us, Adrian, so your mum, you were telling me before, she's actually Egyptian, is that right?
Yes. Mum is born in Cairo.
What's mum's name?
Her real name's Teresa. She goes by Tess now.
Okay, Tessa.
She changed, Tess. She changed it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. That's her name, her Australianized Anglo name.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah,
which
Tessa.
Everybody knows her by Tess now. So
yeah, Teresa's a beautiful name. Yeah.
I don't actually know why she changed that. I think she went through some midlife crisis.
Well,
we all have, I think.
But she changed it to Tess. So at the end of the day, it's
okay.
Tess. She was born there, and to be honest, I only just found out that the age that they came over a few days ago as well. So they came. She would have been 13 when she arrived here.
Okay, young girl.
And they arrived to the Campsie area. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Campsie.
Yes. What area would you say? So, what area would you primarily have lived in your time in Australia?
Meaning
what suburb?
What suburb? Most of it in Arncliffe.
Arncliffe, okay.
When I got married, and after I used to live in East Gardens before for a few years.
Okay.
Pagewood.
Oh yeah, I know the area well.
I had the opportunity to buy a property there, the land. Sure. Which is a long story again, and build a house there that would have been in
1990.
Oh, okay, I'm sure it was all tax deductible.
I wasn't doing taxes then. I was working for a company, so I didn't know the ins and outs of it. But if you tell me now, cool. I would.
Fair enough. We might have a chat.
No worries. Free console, that's okay.
La Finca Dos coming soon.
I'm like in Juro, so we might expand.
All right. Okay, well,
I'm only joking, man. We got our hands full over here. Thank you for coming all the way up here, by the way, because I know it's a little bit of a trek.
I thought you were going to buy dinner or something. That's what I came.
I offered you money. Adrian, didn't you explain to him there was no dinner involved?
No, he didn't say. I said to him I didn't have lunch. So I thought, no.
Not even lunch?
Rafa is going to buy dinner. I said, okay. So that's why I didn't have lunch.
I was waiting for un asaíto. Pavel's here on the couch watching TV. I thought he could even have the carbon started.
No, that's all right.
I'll call him, tell him to make something happen.
No, that's right. That's fine.
My woman is a pretty good cook too. Maybe next time
next time around, we make it more social and we'll have something.
I would love for that to happen, man. Mi casa su casa, please. We can definitely try that. So Adrian, half Egyptian, half Peruvian. Now that's insane.
Crazy, yeah. I get it. Once or twice a week, Adrian, where are you from? Because obviously my Spanish, she's not native, so someone picks up, Adrian, where are you from? And I have to explain that story. And they're like, hey, what a mix, you know? And how do you speak Spanish? Well, my ex is also Colombian, so...
Sorry to hear.
Here we go again. My son...
Saludos para las colombianitas. Una de las mujeres más lindas del mundo.
My son's mum, so yes, shout out to her and shout out to my son Samuel.
Okay, sure, Samuel. Shout out to Sam.
Yeah, so that's how my Spanish came along as well.
Sure.
So it's a big mix that I have.
Better than
born here, And yeah, the two backgrounds.
Y felicitaciones al abuelo.
Yeah, no, but that's only now later on. But he used to go to Peru every holiday for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
summer
that
holiday.
started.
Yeah.
The
That's
last,
the best way, man.
The last year of high school, I think he spent about
4 months,
4 or 5 months
Same.
in Peru, and that's what he picked up the language better.
I went to Argentina for a month and Peru for 3 months. Not only that.
Y Chris?
Christian,
because his Espanol is not very good, right?
He understands though. He understands a lot of it. Yeah. Especially when they call him Weon and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, funny you say that, but obviously El Abuelo now has half Peruvian, quarter. Okay, let's start again. Quarter Egyptian, quarter Peruvian, half
Chilean.
Colombian grandson.
That's right.
Samuel, and then with Chris, he has quarter Egyptian, quarter Peruvian, half Chilean.
Yep.
That's right.
How many grandkids from Tracy? Two.
The twins.
The twins, yeah.
Oh, of course, yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
but after the
family
twins, no more.
No, never asked for a girl.
Not that we know of.
Okay, fair enough.
No,
It's funny, my cousin just revealed that she was having another kid and everyone was asking for a girl, and she did a gender reveal, another boy.
The Caychos, huh?
Where-
The empire's multiplying. The Incas slowly conquering Australia.
Yeah, the name is going to be there for a while, that's for sure.
Yes, I can see that, man. Definitely, yeah. And Chris, obviously, very handy with audio and sound, and doing a lot of work for sound agents and stuff. So,
Yes.
It's been since up until March, yes.
of course, well, I'm talking about the pre-COVID and that's how I've actually kept in touch with Chris over the years.
He's been doing art house out on Saturdays, the stadiums when para plays.
Yeah, I know he does marquee and bits and pieces
marquee
for
on
Troy.
Fridays
So
as well.
shout out to Chris, man. He's
birthday
quite
yesterday
dedicated.
too.
Oh, happy birthday, brother! Oh, awesome, man.
38.
38. He looks like he's 55. Good on you, Chris. Well, then again, he's married to Tracy, so.
That's true.
Shout out to Tracy.
This is recorded. I can't say anything.
No, you better stay out of it. I can do all the work for you, all the dirty work for you. No worries.
I'll slip you a 50 later.
Yeah, under the table, please.
Yeah.
Look, sorry.
Tax
deductible. Whoa, it's all coming thick and fast. Look, I wanted to say, back to where you were with your story. You were saying that you're a half Egyptian. You were talking about your mama, and so obviously your life would mirror obviously the area and everything, upbringing in those suburbs and stuff. Yeah.
Pagewood Primary.
Okay.
Up until year 4.
Yep.
Then we moved to Arncliffe.
Yeah.
And then I went to St. Thomas More's in Brighton.
Okay.
For 2 years.
Man, I know that area.
And then I went to Cogomarist, which was around the corner from where Dante used to live. So I used that's where I used to see you guys, because I used to go there after school sometimes. And Ruben, yourself,
Pavel
used to be there. And I would have.
De la familia days.
This was pre-2000s, around then.
So we've got a bit of a change in the guard over here.
But yeah.
What did you say? Hold on. Paulie wants to say something. What is it, brother? What are you saying?
You're a Cogger boy.
I am a Cogomarist, yes.
Wow, so am I.
So yes, I finished in 2003. Wasn't very academic, to be honest. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
No need.
Year 12?
I finished year 12. I finished everything.
Yeah, sure.
I was year 7.
Forced him.
Year 7 until year 10, I was a little shit. Like I was. I think I did out of how many school weeks do we have?
Good question. Google it.
Probably 12, so 40. Out of the 40, 30 of them would have been in detention on Fridays.
Wow.
From year 7 to 10, I didn't like school. School didn't like me.
Yeah.
But then I had to pull my head in because I got into a few fights at school, and being a Catholic school, you can't portray you're wearing the uniform. You can't have that look.
Yeah. They're quite strict on all that.
And so I got told to pull my head in.
That area can be quite rough down there. I was actually surprised in the early 2000s when I started becoming quite active in that area for all the wrong reasons. With some boys, one of them's not around anymore. Shout out to Mick Howie, R.I.P. And I remember saying to myself, wow, like this is fucking red hot. Like there was choppers at night and shit. And sometimes it got pretty ugly, man.
You've got a mixture there. In school, you've got your Latinos, you've got your Lebanese, you've got the Australians.
In many ways, it's like a little bit of the West on the water, you know?
It was
mixed.
It was mixed, you know. So at school, there would always be something going, you know. And again, I used to sort of enjoy getting mixed up in the trouble too. I'd say I was sort of
tell me about it. Just to go to school to see the principal.
You know, like I remember. I remember.
It's funny how you get the story of the boy and then the dad's like,
I remember being in the principal's office. I remember being in the principal's office after getting into a fight, and my dad had to come obviously to get me out. The principal, my dad said to the principal, was like, "Well, what do you want him to do? If he gets hit, just keep getting hit. He's going to defend himself." So that was when he said that. It was
tough
like,
love.
well, you know,
that's what I
but
thought.
since that, to be honest, that was the last time because I was given that was the last straw, and then otherwise I would have to go to James Cook, and I didn't want to go to James Cook.
I know James Cook. Yeah.
No offense to the James Cook boys.
No. Yeah, my brother Dax and Hux, they went to James Cook, and actually my cousin Pavel had a short stint in James Cook, and he had some stories, man. Wow.
So happy to stay at Cogra. Still have friends, and actually a few of them are Uruguayan, Peruvian mixture from that sort of age.
Yeah,
I used to play soccer with them as well.
So we know your Spanish is, you say not the best, but definitely more than enough.
Oh no,
what about your Egyptian/Arabic?
No.
Sadiki.
Nothing.
Kifak Habib.
Como estoy?
Well.
Didn't have the opportunity because
I didn't have the opportunity. Like, to be honest, my grandparents and my aunties speak Italian because they sort of have
parla italiano también?
Yeah.
Un poco.
Yeah. Cosi.
I think everybody that speaks Spanish can
understand a little bit of Italian.
Yeah, understand and can probably rattle off a couple of words, you know. Yeah, at least.
Yeah. So that was never. I was never really big on the mum side. Unfortunately, my parents split when I was 8, so
sure.
I stayed with dad. Mum went down her path and had her things
that
going.
Explains.
So I was with dad, and I was always sort of aligned to the Latino community a little bit more. Actually, also football.
Yeah.
Was another thing.
Of course.
I played football out at Fairfield West with all my boys. I played for Fairfield City. I played for Fairfield West.
Really? Sky Blue.
So So we made the grand final. Then we got kicked out, unfortunately, due to an ineligible player. But I had some good times, you know. And I also was lucky enough to have met a lot of friends through football and soccer out west. And that's part of the community side of things.
So we fast forward now to the last few years, and you were saying with Aditax, you've become, ever since the 2018, you've jumped on board, and you've done, you've brought some younger blood to the company, and more a more perhaps modern mindset as far as social media and everything else. You've had quite a bit of involvement in events and tours, and actually we did something ourselves, and maybe Paulie can pull up a couple of images. We worked on something together, which was a little bit of fun, which was we brought over probably the biggest female Colombian DJ. Her name is Marcela Reyes, and we did a big event at Ivy Pools.
Yeah,
there she is there.
It was a lot of fun in the lead up to this event, I would have to say. I remember the visa
issues.
It wasn't so much issues. It was more being like, we knew it was going to come. It was slowed us up, and whether that impacted the event, it was a good event. I enjoyed it, but I think we could have had a few more people had we had the extra few weeks there as well.
Well, I mean,
in all honesty,
what I would definitely say is that usually a lot of these events are measured within the industry, let's say, more so than outside the industry. But within the industry, they're measured by these bar guarantees that venues. But these venues kind of they're hurdles. So the venues kind of say, look, if you don't make X amount on the bar,
From a KPI point of view.
Yeah, it's almost like KPI. Yeah, that's right.
From a KPI
so they say, you know, if you don't want to incur all these costs,
Correct.
we need you to meet these targets.
Yeah.
Now, Ivy Pool's being one of the more exclusive venues in Sydney, they've got a very high hurdle, and we smashed that hurdle. So you know,
thanks to our friends.
Well, obviously thanks to our friends and everyone that came. Yeah, I mean they drank like fish, and it was a very well attended event.
I was going to say we
now,
had between 3 to 350 there, didn't we?
I think it was much more than that, but what I'm trying to say is I think as a promoter or as a business owner, you always want more.
Yes,
more,
of course.
Queremos más.
Well,
what I'm saying is it was a very very well spoken of event, and it went off without a hitch and no incidents, which is a big thing when you're doing events, particularly in Australia, because there's a lot of violence and shit like that. And the show was amazing, and Marcela had a great time, and then you know there was other events and everything involved.
Yeah, I wasn't able to enjoy Sydney because
of the work.
I shot out to Brisbane straight after the show, so I left it with you. Shouts to Paulie, who's here too for that day.
That's right.
I remember that day.
I
remember that day was quite frantic, you know.
Of course, as it is. And people don't see the behind.
And I remember at one stage, I'm like, Paulie was like, "Oh, you need to do this." And I'm like, Paulie, I'm good. I don't need your help. I've got it. I've got it undercover, man. This is why I'm here.
Yeah.
And I was a bit stern with him on that day because it's just like, you know, in the heat of the battle, if you're working and you're getting stuff done. And the good thing with Paulie is he took it though.
No. He's.
But the good thing is it's not a personal thing anymore.
No. Look,
but I remember that clearly because I'm Paulie, like wasn't rude. I'm just like, Paul, take a step back. I got it. And then we move on.
That's one side of the story. Let's get the other side of the story.
Paulie.
I'm only joking, man. I'm only joking.
But no, it's,
no. One thing, ultimate professional Paulie, seasoned, event management.
Of course, yeah.
And just like, you had that little thing, whatever. I know over the years we've had our moments, and everyone agrees that it just stays there. We might have a chat after to say apologize if we need to, or clear something out if
he deleted
if you
me on
need to
Facebook
as well.
And a free meal, Adrian.
He deleted me on Facebook after that.
Yeah. Well, that's the
like
least. That's the least. That's the least he would have done.
Wow.
But you also get free tax returns for 10 years, Paulie. Make sure you cash that in, brother. Hit him where it hurts. There it is. First one of the night. Congratulations. Any other events? Because you've done a fair bit of work in events the last couple of years.
Yeah, well,
you were up in Brisbane, right?
I was in Brisbane.
Sure.
The events has always been part of my, I guess, blood because of growing up with Chris, being a bit younger, and my uncle and my dad, having all been involved. And then I guess adding the travels to South America and the music and
love for the culture.
For the culture. I'm massive on salsa.
Yeah.
It's probably my most preferred music than anything.
Yeah, Peru has
all genres, but salsa is for me and Callao is where I have family as well, and salsa is
of course
the biggest there. I'm not sure if you went to the wall there where they have Hector Lavoe, the pink wall, Atahualpa in Callao.
They took me there.
So you can see how much they love it. That they paint the guys, the superstars.
Yeah.
On the wall
Peru,
there.
for all of you that don't know, in the countries in South America, because salsa is predominantly Caribbean. So
Colombia, Ecuador.
Well, I was going to say even more so Cuba and Puerto Rico, which is where it comes from originally, and then obviously it expands into Miami and New York because of migration. But in South America, the hotspots, let's say, Colombia, Venezuela, and very much Peru further down south. Peru is a big salsa kind of
Peru,
hub.
you get a mixture of all the salsas.
Yeah, that's right.
Because
that's right.
Cuban salsa salsa cubana is massive in Peru, and that's my preferred salsa as well. Then you have obviously all the classics.
Yep.
La salsa dura, and that's to me was what got me into and then Dante being part of the festival.
Yeah.
Y La Familia when I was younger, being here, you could see the live music being something that I always wanted to be part of.
Yeah.
Whether it be
in the blood.
Yeah, whether it be successful or not, it was always there,
Yeah.
So the last couple of years, giving me an opportunity leaving the corporate life.
Yeah.
to be able to jump in on this.
Yeah.
So
talk about some of the events, because I know there was a couple of, a couple of good ones.
So in June we did Fulanito and Magic One.
Sure. Yeah.
Shouts to Fulanito.
Yeah, man. Shout out to mi tocayo Rafael Dos Vargas.
It was also his birthday a few days ago. Happy birthday, bro.
Oh, man. Feliz cumpleaños, papá.
And Magic. That, for me, was, to be honest, one of the best experiences.
Sure.
Spending 2 weeks and having my cousin Dante's son's wedding in between all of that.
Oh, wow.
It was a good couple of weeks to learn and sort of be thrown in. I didn't have any experience on running concerts. I've always been involved when Dad or someone and been behind the scenes or around when Don Omar was here. And I wasn't involved in any way with Don Omar, but I was there and just seeing what was going on, or El Gran Combo and all the other ones that have come, J Balvin, the list goes on.
Yeah.
That was, it was a good experience, you know. We brought them over and brought a little bit of spark back into the community that...
Much needed,
you know. I think the spark had been taken out, whatever it be. Again, bringing artists is never easy.
No, fuck no.
For everyone out there. Financially, time, organisation.
Pressure.
The whole... When you add and do a checklist of every little thing you need to do for a tour... Yeah,
it's quite extensive.
It is.
Yeah, and it's a game of details,
It is,
and you need to be thinking ahead.
You need to be thinking ahead.
It's quite stressful in that
you just
aspect,
need to be on top, you know, and mixing in a little bit of fun with it, with the concerts and stuff like that. You're waking up with a hangover and still having to go.
Well, that's optional.
But it was, man, the 2 weeks, 6 shows. We did. We started in Sydney. We went into Brisbane. Brisbane, best by far concert that I've been to. Not speaking as the person who brought them far. It was an outdoor venue.
Sure.
It was rocking. You could hear it on the street. 700 people just bouncing. Even they were blown away. And then we did Melbourne at Alhambra.
Sure. Well, just speaking on tours, because I do know a little bit about that. Australia, unfortunately, and you speak of the spark, and it's true. It's something that's very much missing in a country such as ours, which, you know, we're not talking the biggest, but we're also not talking the smallest country. And our community is not the biggest, but it's also not the smallest. There's enough to perhaps to go around. But the main issue that I had is the financial issue, as far as many years ago, the Australian dollar was, you know, par with the American dollar. So, you know, when you were negotiating with artists, you know, we came from a position of strength. And I'll tell you a funny story about Magic One in a second, because I've
got a few too.
Yeah. Well, we'll trade some stories on Magic One. But yeah, so since then, for all our people from overseas, and perhaps for people who don't even know here, but in the early 2010s, 11s, 12s, the Australian dollar was very strong. 1 for 1 essentially, and nowadays we're sitting at about 70 cents or so, thereabouts, up and down. So, you know, and usually in these kind of businesses, your profit margin, speaking from experience and talking to other people, is usually somewhere around 20-30%. So with the dollar at 70 cents, essentially you're working for free,
or at a loss.
Yeah, or at a loss, which you can do everything right, and the people just don't come because it's just the way it is. You know, you can do it 10 times, do the same thing, or every time, and get 10 different results. That's just the way it is. It's the thing.
Yeah, and after the event, people, you always get it, and I'm sure you've had it, and it kills me because I hate that someone has to say it to me, because for me it's like, you want everyone possible to know about it, and they're like, "Oh, when was this? How did I not know about it?" And
I'm like, funny that. Yeah, and it's funny like, that. Yeah. Like, I think that goes back to... You can't hit
everyone, of course.
I think that goes back to community engagement, and that's what we were talking about before. There used to be almost like a central focal point, and that's kind of dispersed, and kind of everyone's shattered now in their own little world, you know?
It's unfortunate, yeah.
It's just the way it is.
It is. It's the way it is. We can have. You could go on about it for hours. I'm sure. Like it's unfortunate that that the community as such is not as. I guess you could bring it together a bit more. Let's say. Let's keep it at that.
Yeah. No. That's kind of the comment I was alluding to before. But back to our friend Magic Don Juan, of course, one of the OGs, one of the
Magic,
originators of urban Latin music, who was a part of Proyecto Uno, which, for those who don't know, was a massive Latin American, up and down South America, all the way into the United States, obviously into Europe. Proyecto Uno for many years was the number one act.
I'm pretty sure they played at BJ's at one stage, did they? I'm not sure. You guys could tell me. That was your...
Why? Yeah, I think they did come. They did come over. I'm pretty sure sometime in the 90s. I was in and out back in those days, and I kind of became more full on after sort of in 2000. But the funny thing is though, I pick up Magic from the airport. This is 2011 from memory, and I take him to the hotel, and it was all amicable. He gave me a CD of he was listening to Young Jeezy at the time, and he had the Young Jeezy album unreleased because someone in the music industry had given it to him, and we're listening to it in the car, and he's bopping along, so all that kind of hip hop and stuff. And we get to the hotel room, and I went in to make sure he was happy with the room, and he's like, "Yo, thanks, homie. Yeah, everything's cool. And I said to him, "All right, cool, Magic. So I'll let you rest. He's been on a plane forever. I'm sure he wants to have a shower, whatever, He goes to me, yo, homie, before you go, the agreement was, that with the rest of the money had to be paid, like on arrival,
Does not surprise
whatever.
me.
And hey, man, super cool, right?
Yeah,
so I said to him, yeah, sure, man, not a problem, as agreed. He's the money, and I gave him the rest of the money that was left over. And he says to me, hold up, homie. The deal was American dollars. American dollars, not Australian dollars. And I said to him, oh. And I said, in my mind, I said, fuck, he's right. But also, I knew, the Aussie dollar was... And I said to him, okay, sure, Magic, not a problem, brother. I'll go change that for you. I'm thinking, fuck, touring the event now, social media now, I've got to go change the money for... So then I said to him, but hold on, man, you do realize that the Australian dollar is $1.06, right? And he goes, what do you mean? I said to him, the Australian dollar on my phone is $1.06. And he goes, so what you're saying is Australian dollars is worth more than American dollars? I said, yes. And he goes, hold on. Let me take that from you, man. That's cool, bro. I handle that. So that was my first encounter with
off stage.
Yeah, the Magic One.
And as I went on with that tour, I came to know, and half an hour before they're performing, leave them alone.
Of course.
Them alone,
no,
let them do their thing.
Respect. Yeah.
But apart from that, the whole tour, speaking to them off. I learned so much from all of them,
Sure, yeah.
They teach you business, whatever, you have a conversation. The Fulanito brothers, they're the two of the most humble.
Yeah, definitely, bro. Yeah, humble. Edwin and Rafa, man, shout out to them.
I just remember...
Same.
I remember being at my cousin's wedding. They were in Adelaide, and Donnie was obviously with them, and I had to shoot off to the wedding.
Yeah.
And I was getting them dinner off Uber Eats. I was at my cousin's wedding ordering McDonald's on Uber Eats for them.
Sure.
And I'm just like, these guys, they can order whatever they want on Uber Eats. They choose Macca's with no pickles, no onions, and a large whatever. And just... Well, that was the best thing about them. They were very happy just with the minimal, these guys. They didn't push for too much.
I'll tell you something else about Fulanito. I had a real good conversation with him because he jumped off stage because I also did Fulanito. I did Fulanito before Magic One. We did it with DJ Don Juan. It was around the same time, 2011, 2010, 2011. Again, the dollar was strong. I think it was closer to 2012. Shout out to DJ Don Juan. And I said to Fulanito, I said to him, man, it must be awesome, all these years later to still be jumping on and off stages. Because Fulanito and Proyecto, they go back to like the 90s. And here we are, almost 20 years later or whatever. And he was like, yeah, it's amazing. He goes, but I'll tell you what, he goes, one of the reasons why we still tour is not only the music and the strength of the music, he goes, but the relationships that we've built over the years with people. And part of that relationship is staying humble. He said a lot of the people in our industry, he goes, they're not humble, they think they're too good. And he goes, but I've always prided myself in being, you know, humble and staying in touch with the community and people and promoters and everybody. So I took that lesson, man. I think that's important to
they're both good for a good conversation. You know, if you apart from everything, it wasn't always bullshit. You could have a proper conversation with them. Magic as well.
Man, they're hustlers too, bro.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, like Magic One comes, you know, like by himself. He gets off the plane, you know.
I think they're both full and Magic from the same area in New York.
I think Washington Heights, which is the kind of one of the big hubs for the Dominican community in the United States is Washington Heights. Very famous, that part of the world. And shout out to all my Dominican brothers and sisters. Shout out to the Abreu family, my brother Jairo. I think he's getting home soon. And to my beautiful sister Fallon and La Señora Vanessa. Hoping to be joining them in the Dominican Republic soon. Hopefully when El Caycho comes to an end.
Another person in the Dominican is Antu.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, cousin Antu, man. Shout out to Antu and Orquídea, man. Yeah.
Who I owe
todos los tigres de la República Dominicana.
I owe a visit to young Antu. Can't wait to get over and see him. It looks amazing where he's living at the moment.
Yeah, I know, man. He's gone bush. From Maroubra to the Dominican Republic via Chile. Chile, bro. Yeah, we're not very popular in Chile right now, Uruguayans. I'm just gonna leave that there because we said we're not gonna talk about football. See, I keep getting dragged into that bloody thing, the football. It's World Cup qualifiers right now, guys. We just finished the second match of the first round. It's a mess because of COVID and empty stadiums and players not informed because they haven't played for months or some have only played a few weeks here and there. And we'll just leave it at that because Peru lost to Brazil and Uruguay lost to Ecuador. So we've got nothing good to say except tomorrow will be good, but today, anyway, tomorrow we're all brothers again. Brothers. Say it and so. But speaking of community and doing lots of things, Attic Tax, you guys have done some quite awesome community and charity work. And I want to talk a little bit about that too, because I think it's inspirational. I think it's good for everyone out there to know. I think also one of the things that I say to people in life, one of the good things we can do to be a better world is when someone who's a business owner or a service provider, when their ethos, when the way that they live their life resonates with you. So for example, when someone that you see does good charity work, you like the way they treat their neighbors, you like the way they speak and carry on and what they represent, then it's good to support them by giving them the work and giving them the support and bringing their business to them. So for me, I think it's cool for the community to know that when they come to Attic Tax, they come into a company that's got some quite strong charity DNA. And part of that is with Sembrando, right? Which is the charity in Peru.
Yeah, so...
Sure, tell us a bit about that, please.
Well, Sembrando was actually just created 1.5 years ago.
Sure.
And the reason for that is one of the unfortunate things in our community, when you want to give charity, they don't believe you. That goes to the people that they want to help.
Yep.
And this lady, Blanca, had the idea of
Blanca and
legal.
Roberto Uribe.
And Roberto Uribe, yes. Had the idea of doing it legal. And they approached me and I said, yeah, let's do it properly. And I did it properly and sent to one of the guys, the Uruguayan club. I think what's it called, that charity?
Uruguayos Unidos.
No, that's another one. The Uruguayos Unidos was one, but
one
there's
of them,
another one. Yeah.
The one that's linked to the club, more directly to the club. Yeah, I forget the name right now, sorry.
Yeah, I know, I can't remember the name either. But that the guy helped me out to set up the company the way it should be.
Like a non-for-profit charity. Yeah, sure.
So I did that, did all the paperwork for them. And I know it's a legal entity because I created it with the lady and the son.
Sure.
So that we started then, and now people, are knowing them slowly. It takes time to get to know a charity organization.
Of course,
and
trust.
Good thing, the trust in and the people. The good things. I mean, not only for the country that they come from, for all Australia and all around, whoever is needed, Sembrando always helps. Obviously,
Great.
especially Peru with the kids, and
of course,
every country, I think, got the poverty side of things, like Uruguay. I mean, I remember they used to send to the schools in Uruguay the books and containers. Argentina too.
Sure.
There's countries that they want to help, and that's what Sembrando does, and we support them as much as we can.
Sure.
According to our possibilities, we do that, and yes, and it's going good.
Beautiful thing to be involved in. I've seen some videos on social media about the work that these guys are doing, and with your support. So people that want to support, they can look at Sembrando, but they can also contact you guys directly, and I'm sure you can.
We can put them in touch with Roberto,
sure.
and shout to Roberto as well.
So
he does
primarily what they do is what function?
So
food based education. What is it?
They have schools in the provinces. There's a school or a couple of in Piura, which is a part of north of Peru. North?
Sure.
Yes, they're north of Peru.
Sure.
And what they do is the donations go towards helping the children who are at
in need
in the villages.
Need. So, for example, last 2 Christmases we've sent money in, and it's not physical cash that they're getting. That they'll get panettone and they'll get certain things to help the kids over Christmas, like little bags. Roberto and his mum have taken over like bags and stuff that they can school needs and things like that.
So it's on the ground. It's very direct.
Yeah, Roberto and his mum do a really, really good job. He's also has his other agency, U-Vision, which obviously helps as well, getting the name of Sembrando out there too. So
do they have a website that you know of?
Yeah, they do have a website.
Do you know it off the top of your head?
Sembrando.org.au, I believe.
Okay, sure.
We can reconfirm that.
No, we can check it out, and we can.
You didn't ask me that before.
No, that's fine, brother. That's what we got Paulie over here for. He likes doing these kind of things for us. No, I mean, otherwise we can have the information up on our links accompanying the video. Sembrando with an S. Sembrando. I'm just explaining it to our non-Spanish speaking brother, Paulie, who always does his best to work out what the hell I'm saying and how to spell it, which is always a challenge, even in English. But no, there's one point I wanted to pick up on, because you mentioned in our community that mistrust with charity. And I know exactly where you're coming from, and I agree, but actually I think that mistrust, unfortunately, is society-wide, being that all these charities have done all the horrible things that they've done over the years, particularly these big established ones that you have all these CEOs on the payroll and all this stuff. I mean,
that's correct,
we learned with the Red Cross, shame on you, during the bushfires. You heard about this, right? How they withhold millions and millions of dollars, and you've got all these people on the street taking your money, and they're all on commission. And it turns out that all these guys that are on the street, as far as I know and as far as I've been told, straight from the horse's mouth, they take 40% of whatever
you can tell, Raf.
Yeah.
Like you go on the street,
because that's the driving force.
In
right?
I'm in Summer Hill, and you've got 3 people standing there trying to get donation. I'm like, why are they selling to try? Like, you can feel it. I walk straight past, and their tactics. So some of their tactics are to engage you in a conversation. Oh, you're being rude, or I'm not being rude. I just don't want to pay you a commission.
Straight out. So the beautiful thing about what I see with this is direct.
Yeah.
And I would always rather go small. And funnily enough, the little charity work that I do at a sort of giving money level, because I think my life is charitable through my friends and my family, and that's probably the original kind of form of charity. We could all be doing more, but the little bits that I do is actually in Peru, because through shamanism and ayahuasca, I've got the links with Peru. When I was in Peru, I was in the Amazon. I was with the Jebero tribes people for 8 days. And we built this kind of links, and they've got their own support networks, and we send over a little bit of money and we get videos back from the kids and everything, which is a beautiful thing.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah, it's great. So
that's what Sembrando, that Blanca and Roberto, they film it, or they get.
Yeah, I've seen the videos.
There,
I've seen the videos.
It to me, and don't like to, especially myself.
Yeah.
Don't like to be up front of things. I mean, I have it because I want to do it, not
yeah,
because this is whoever is helping.
Yeah, it's not a wash, because a lot of people wash themselves with charity as if, look at me, I'm holy, Yeah.
That's why there's a fine line with that.
Last time when I speak to Blanca, I said, look, don't put my name in it. Just put the company name.
Yeah.
But what happened is that what she said to me was that the people that you say, man, they look for your name.
Yeah.
And they know who you are.
Sure.
So I can't avoid that. That's what people, they do that. But it's something that
doesn't come natural. Doesn't come natural, perhaps.
They do it
to
for
be
you,
all,
and I can avoid it.
And hence the reason why I want to shed light on these things. I totally understand that you would prefer to be sort of in the background, but for me, as a podcaster or whatever it is that I am, I don't even know. Give it a name. This is why we're here. And actually, a small conversation that I had with Adrian some days ago is that unfortunately, we don't have news or media covering our community, or very little. So this is the beautiful thing about what we're doing here is as much as we can with my own networks, with your networks, with the power of YouTube and Spotify and all these things, we get this message out. And we shed light on all these cool stories, and also all these activities, these awesome activities like the ones that you guys are doing with Sembrando. And another cool thing I wanted to mention, and I was thinking about this as we were sort of coming into the podcast, is I've known about you for a very long time. We've crossed paths.
Yes, sir. I think when it was
here
Gran Combo, I think.
With the Gran Combo, which is another one of the tours that I presented some years ago. But what I'm saying is, face to face, we've probably seen each other less than 10 times.
That's true.
Let's say. Even though we're both very actively engaged in the community. You through accounting, me through El Circo.
Many things.
Did you understand that?
The circus.
But continental person, you got the European, Asian.
Sure. But there is a bit of that. Yeah, I like to travel, and my woman being Thai, I get that. Yeah,
no, I wasn't saying for that. I mean, if you want to take it that way, it's entirely up to you.
I can, because it's true, right? You can look at it from that point of view.
Whichever way,
Sure. But what I was referring to is the cool thing about this show is that, through these conversations, I mean, even tonight, I found out a lot of things about you guys that I had no idea about. As much as I think I know you, especially Adrian, because he's been coming out to my events and clubs for many years, and we've crossed paths, and we've even worked together. He's cried many times, and that's why his nickname to me is El Sentimental, especially after a few tequilas. He likes to have a good cry. He's looking at me. Don't go there.
In the car on the way home once, I did. I'm not going to lie.
I don't lie, bro. I'm telling you how it is, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I just like to bring it up.
Real men cry.
Hermano, I'm a man of respect. I do like to have a laugh every now and then.
No, it's good.
A little bit at other people's expense, because we are, especially Uruguayos son rompepelota, let's face it.
I'm in a WhatsApp group with a lot of them, and I have to deal with it daily. So I've got, and having gone to Peru quite a bit, I've learned from a young age, you have to have thick skin and give shit back.
Doubt.
My family in Peru say to me, why did we ever teach you Spanish? Because I give shit back as much as I get it. So I have to cop the fair share as well,
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with shedding a tear and showing a bit of passion and a bit of emotion, man. Nothing wrong with that, I think true men do cry, yeah. And I cry, I mean, mainly for Uruguay, for our soccer team. Today, out of all days, today was a tough day for me.
That's right.
Didn't want to see me this morning. Fuck, me and my cousin. Ugh. Anyway, no, but all good, and if I could ask you, if there was one thing you could say to people out there, to people in the community, to people not in the community, young people, old people, people wanting to change, people wanting to better themselves, people wanting to start a business, what would that message be? As simple or as grandiose as you would like to make the statement? What would you recommend? What would be the steps? What would be some tips into succeeding?
Well, very hard to say. People are different and got different needs and wants. And the only thing I could say to people, really, if you want to achieve something in this country,
sure,
whatever the age, whether you're female or male, if you want to achieve it, you do it.
Sure.
It's not going to take overnight.
No.
It's going to take a few years. It's going to be bumps, ups and downs, sideways. It's going to be the people that call you friends when you have something and when you haven't got, you haven't, they don't come near you. But it's really on what every person wants to achieve in this country. And you have to have that oomph to do it. Whether you study, whether you don't, whether you know the right people, you're going to know the right and the wrong people in different stages of your life.
Sure.
And they're going to give you that experience. But really, personally, I think it's what the person wants to achieve in this country. And because he's giving us the opportunity to do it. And it's a few people, you can point out and say, oh, you just come here, you're like this, you're like that. And they don't have that oomph. Being in a country that gives you all the opportunity is entirely up to them on what they want to do.
Agreed.
But no, I always encouraging people, whether to study, look at the correct people. Just listen to what they say to you. They're going to tell you good things, bad things. You take the best out of it. And maybe you have to apply later on in life or later on in your experiences that you're going to go through. And that's all I can say. If you really want to do it, you do it.
Julio, did you have a mentor? Did you have anyone sort of grabbed you early in your career and said, this is how it's done?
In Australia or in my country?
Well, both. Perhaps in Australia, because Australia is your taxing, accounting.
Here in Australia, he was an old accountant, RIP, he's gone. He's a very good accountant.
Was that Jim?
Jim McGraw.
Sure.
And he was my mentor. He taught me, from everything from day one. He was a good teacher to me in the accounting side of things and how to...
Earlier in the career,
Earlier in the career when I started. And a few good people that helped me through the career because they knew, I was married, studying, kids. And, and obviously you have to put yourself into that situation. And if you want to do it, you do it.
Great. And we've spoken a few times with the show with different people, the importance of having that mentor or someone kind of showing you the way, show you the ropes, and equally the importance of the student or the apprentice to listen and to watch and to observe and to soak it in and to learn, because
that's right.
I think in the Western world in particular, we put a lot of emphasis on how you speak and how you communicate, but not so much into listening. Shut your mouth and learn, which I think is very important. And obviously in your career was something that helped you a lot. I would deduce from what you've said. Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. And a lot of hard work, because from the sounds of it, it's a lot of hours, my friend.
Yes, it doesn't come, like I say, if you want to achieve something, you got to work for it.
Sure.
Still
going, yeah.
Still
going. 55, still going.
60, man. I'm proud of
I'm only joking.
That was a compliment.
I'm trying to help you out, bro. I'm trying to help you out, brother.
I know that, but I'm proud of it. I'm in 60, but I don't feel like 60 because I'm there.
Nah, man, I can tell there's a lot of fire and spirit and life left in that ticker, man. Yeah.
Yes,
retiring? Retirement?
Not at this stage. Probably in a few years' time.
Sure.
I don't know. Depends. Depends.
Offshore
how,
everything.
Yes. Depends how. The good thing is that if you want to keep working, you gotta have a good health.
That's no doubt, my friend. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
If the health is there, you can work. Maybe try to cut one day in a few years, but at the moment, I'm enjoying it as much as I can. And
good to hear.
I like to help people as much as I can. So is Adrian. We both in that area of helping people as much as we can, and that's what we do.
Yep. It's you're in the services sector, so it's important to serve, man. That's another thing too. The intention has to be there. It's not only
human
about making money.
As
Human
well.
contact, yeah, no doubt about it.
You said before about listening and it's not about just automated. We're in a world where everything can be pretty much automated to a certain point. But as I was saying to Dad on the way here, the point of difference that we have is that
personal touch.
We speak to people.
Yeah.
And I like speaking to people because I have a sales background and that's my background.
Yeah.
And exactly.
Todo el floro que te mete.
Yeah.
No. But he's good, man.
It got me to where I am now, so it's why stop.
No. But far from it, man. You know, I'm only joking.
Yeah, no, of course.
Who am I to knock what you guys are doing, which is a great job. But before you guys go, we have this little segment in the show called Show and Tell. Paulie, with the help of the guests and our friend Eddie as well, who's joined us, man. Our boy Eddie.
I prefer Eddie.
Huh?
I prefer
Straight
Eddie.
out?
Straight out. He laughs at my jokes. Paul doesn't.
Paulie laughs on the inside, man. Believe me, but he laughs on the inside. But shout out to our boy Eddie, El Salvatrucha, from El Salvador, joining us, joining the team. So, all right, cool. So normally I see a lot of these photos today. I have not seen any of them. I don't know anything.
I haven't seen them either. So
yeah, well, there you go. So you and I, the same. But the cool thing is, you know, we just show the photos and you guys can just make comments or whatever, good or bad, ugly, whatever guys you want to say, whatever comes to mind.
Well,
the one thing I do have to do is, because a lot of our audience is on Spotify and Apple Podcast, they can hear what we're saying so they can't see it. A lot of our audience is on YouTube. They'll be able to see it. So just so you guys know, I'll be talking a little bit, explaining what it is that we're seeing on the screen. Doing my best, man, for our So what do we have here, Adrian? Over to you, because this is obviously you're in this photo.
Melbourne. This is the last city for Marcela's tour in
Marcela
Melbourne.
Reyes.
This was we did this with Tanya from Melbourne.
Shout out. She's Tanya. A promoter in Melbourne.
Tanya Barcelona.
Shout out to Tanya. Oh, awesome name.
She was running quite a few events there up until COVID, obviously.
Sure.
So she hooked it up at this awesome venue in St Kilda.
And this is the beautiful Marcela Reyes hugging Adrian.
That was a crazy, crazy day. She had a before that she had a private function.
Sure.
Then she came to do this.
Sure.
And then, as all artists, as I know now, when they have a break or when they've hit their last,
they let loose.
It's time to party.
Yeah,
so.
she was for her status and particularly being a female, like so, you know, female artists. There's a lot more pressure on them when they're touring and everything. So they tend to be. Cool. My experience is they tend to be a little bit more standoffish because
keep to themselves,
the image thing, and you know, and all of that. But she was really cool. And shout outs to Marcela. And so this photo here, Adrian hugging the beautiful Marcela.
It was an awesome tour with Marcela. Again, get to know more people, have more contact, more connections overseas.
Yep.
So I keep in touch with her manager.
Yeah,
so
good times,
it's
man.
always good to say hello.
Cool. Next photo, please, brother Paulie.
Wait, Adrian, did you drink that night?
No, I didn't actually.
You look pretty tired.
Oh, of course. After 4 days of non-stop, I actually would have had 2 hours sleep from Brisbane to Melbourne and went straight through.
Touring is relentless, bro. It's quite heavy. Whoa!
You know that jersey?
Yeah, that's the welcome.
That's the welcome. Yeah, that is the welcome jersey.
Shit, I don't look good in that photo.
That's Christian down the bottom there.
Christian on the bottom.
That is Christian too, man.
Which one? That one?
Yeah, that's Christian there. Christian Caycho.
Mm-hmm. Yes, look at that.
And of course, there's the old man. What year would this be roughly, Julio?
95, 97, 98, I think it would have been.
Weren't you at Welcome before Alul or after?
No, after the Argentinian club. The Caballo, my friend then took me over there after we finished the federation.
What position did you play?
Number 5, midfield.
Oh, wow. Okay, defensive midfielder.
Yes,
sure.
defensive midfielder, yeah.
Okay, awesome, man.
It was good.
Oh, good times,
I enjoyed it. Actually, my elbow's hurting now. All the people that used to, hit my elbow when they were running in the back of my elbows. Yeah.
Well, better than your knee or your hip or elbow's all right. You can still walk around. I definitely recognize a few faces there from the old school Latin community, and in this photo here we've got the traditional soccer photo of Julio's days back in the days with one of the well-known football clubs in the Latin community in Sydney. Next photo, please, Paulie.
Right.
Ah, the little ones.
The two my grandkids.
Uh-huh.
That was on celebrating my 60th birthday.
Uh-huh.
And weekend I think it was on the 11th of July.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And that's the three of them, no?
Yeah, the three of them,
Uh-huh,
yes.
sure.
That I know of. Yeah. Now the three, yeah. So Adrian said, yeah, the three beautiful boys there,
Yeah,
and smiling,
beautiful
just
boys.
memorable photo with them, yes.
Yeah,
that
la
was
familia. Uh-huh. It's beautiful to see the other side of behind the businessman, you know? A bit of that's always there. We all have it. Next photo, please, Paulie. Now, obviously, this
Paulie,
is...
you didn't check
shameless
this one off.
promoting there. Oh,
No, not shameless at all. That's what we're here for. So obviously, Attic, you can see them all over the place on social media. And this is one of their flyers with all their information and everything. And of course, they stress, rightfully so, que hablamos español. They speak Spanish. So, you know, those people in the community that are struggling with their English, as they do, especially for important matters like this, Spanish speaking. So there it is. Beautiful colors, good designs. Good work. Next one, please. Aha, looking good, boys.
This was at the Boxing Day party that we ran last year at Bar Hombre.
Uh-huh. The old man does all right, man, with the styles and everything, huh?
Oh, well, try to keep up, you know.
Yeah, try to keep up with the
clothing,
times, man. Yeah,
with the times, yes.
Nah, I like the looks, man. I'm a fan of black and red like that. I think it works, you know.
Yeah, no, just try to look good as much as.
And Adrian looks all right too.
Thanks.
Yeah, he looks all right.
I try.
He's always got the Miami look going. Even tonight, he's wearing one of his.
That was especially for you.
Thank you. I am known to wear some flowers. Of course, for all of you that aren't really aware, but they are the sexual organs of the plant world.
There you go.
Yeah,
So
look at
flowers, yeah, there you go. They are the penises and the vaginas of the plant world. I found that after I said.
Can you say that in Spanish?
Sí, claro. Las flores. Las flores son los órganos sexuales del mundo vegetal.
Yeah, well done.
Los
said.
penes y las vaginas. And
I was waiting for the extra part. That's all. We'll go with
I even said it in the proper.
Look at this photo. That was years and years ago. That would
Uh-huh.
have been probably Cranky Adrian and would have been there.
88, probably 89.
Yes.
So who's in this photo? I see Dante,
Okay.
Don
from
Julio.
the top left is my younger sister.
Uh-huh.
Dad, Mom, Dante. Dante, who's he carrying? Adrian?
Me, yep.
Adrian?
Well
Down the
done-
bottom.
well done, Dad.
Sort of closing my eyes.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
me.
Probably after a few.
Yeah, that's true.
A few.
True.
What's it called?
A few beers, piscos,
Pilsen.
and Christian and Teresa or Tesna,
Yeah,
the mother.
Tessa. Yeah.
And the family years and years ago.
Uh-huh.
I think that was in that place.
Uh-huh.
It looks like they've got the
Yeah,
screen
Is
up
Chris,
on the wall.
is Chris wearing a Peñarol t-shirt or is that just
I don't
me?
think so.
No,
okay,
I
sorry.
think that he went more for the Italian teams back on those days.
We go for Nacional in our family. That's Celeste, you know. Cristal, Nacional.
Mm.
So no Peñarol talk in our family.
It's just a little Uruguayan team that is
who's
the
from
champion of
Peñarol,
the
yeah.
20th century. So why would you even bother about Peñarol?
Yeah, Peñarol, you're from Peñarol, yeah.
My granddad playing in Peñarol and by
Ah,
blood
right.
I'm a Peñarol fan.
Ah, right, okay.
I can't really say that I follow Uruguayan football too much, just because being on the other side of the world for most of my adult life, and also because, you know, let's face it, over the years that the local leagues have suffered a lot from sending all the players overseas. And another thing that I definitely don't resonate with is the violence and even if you go to my country, as beautiful as it is, they paint all the light posts and walls and they graffiti everywhere and they say, fuck you, this whole neighborhood is Peñarol, and so it's all black and yellow, and like they ruin.
I'm sure you've been caught up potentially while you've been over there, maybe.
You know
when
what?
the fans are clashing. At
Yes and no.
Crazy.
I have been in Ni La Barra Brava a few times, but it's just not for me. It doesn't resonate with me. The whole stupidity, and there's even been how many deaths have we had because of hooliganism in Latin America? It's fucking ridiculous. So
Argentina, another one.
Another one, unfortunately. They're probably,
I can't just say Argentina. Sorry.
No, but they're probably the worst
America.
expression.
It happens. It happens.
It's
all
embarrassing.
over,
man.
it is.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Can't point in which country. One are better than the other. One are worse than the other. So.
Yeah.
What happens on the field stays on the field, but apart
exactly.
from that,
I mean, I'm all for passion. I'm all for passion. I'm all for all that. But I mean, to get into fights and stuff like that, to me, that's just the epitome of the human race. You know, like what are we doing? It's over a fucking ball. You know, relax. It's not meant to be about that. Yeah.
Correct.
Aha. Is that Thailand?
It is Thailand. That's Phuket. I'm in the tuk-tuk there.
Yeah, I recognise the fine electrical work in the streets of Thailand.
It could have been Lima. It could have been Lima too.
Oh, really?
But not with that hat.
I can't remember Lima being that bad, to be honest. I can't remember, but...
The bicycles on the right side.
That's 5 years ago in Phuket for a mate's bucks.
Good times.
Good times.
Yeah.
I don't know why Paulie chose that one, to be honest.
Ah, man, it's a good photo, brother.
I'll tell you why.
Here we go.
You look so adorable there.
Oh, wow.
Just in that one, I look adorable.
Sure.
Like you're having a good time. Like you're letting your head out.
Maybe I should sign up to Bumble or something. Or Tinder. Use that one.
Oh, there you go.
Get you
Tinder
to
talk.
my
No,
Tinder.
listen. Hold on. Stop the phone. If you want to talk Tinder, you need to talk to Eddie.
Okay, yeah.
He's the man. We're making music in the studio at the back. You guys haven't seen the studio yet. I'm going to take you to the studio when we finish the And we're busy making some magic happen. And there's fucking Eddie, ting ting ting, and he goes, "Oh, Tinder's going off." Because where we are, Dural, is a little bit out of the way in Sydney.
So he got reception, and then
No. So I think what happens is because the app depends where you are. You can plug into like local, no?
Just swiping everyone.
In the area, like in the area you're in. Yeah. So
any luck?
Well,
so does Jura have the girl?
when we'll talk about it later. Maybe. We had a conversation about mistresses before the show.
Did we?
I don't know what you're talking about. But and I think what happens is he does come from the southwest of Sydney, and to Dural is quite a trek. So I think what happens is Tinder plugs into the local networks, and all the girls from the hills like a bit of young Latin, good-looking meat. And they don't mind a nibble. So,
but yeah, no, that was one of my good mates, Uruguayan actually, and a Peñarol fan, Adrian Ferreira. That was his. Yeah, that was
Adrian.
his bucks.
Right.
Okay.
That was his bucks for a
Next
few days.
photo, please, Paulie.
Oh.
Hey, there's me. Bro, this showing about me, man. But anyway, there I am with Marcela Reyes on stage having fun at Ivy.
I think he was trying to bring the connection to the event that we did together.
Perhaps.
Is that what that was, Paul?
You know what it was? Maybe Paulie fucked up. Yeah. Well done, Paulie. No worries, champ. Good on you.
That was actually.
I was trying to be nice, but yeah, you fucked up, Paul.
That was the best photo of you and Marcella.
Thank you very much. So there I am, trying my best to be a pink bubblegum chewing gum with the beautiful Marcela Reyes on stage, Ivy Pools, for her Sydney show, for her tour in Australia last year. Next photo, please, brother. There they are, the boys.
That was in Peru.
That was in Peru.
That was actually in Cayal.
That's great. Yeah.
Chim boom.
Cayal.
That was. That would have been.
That was in a birthday party or
That
something.
was.
New Year's.
That would have been when my nieces turned 15, I think.
And
you're wearing Barcelona, which is in the doghouse Barcelona at the moment. The way they treated Suarez and the way they treated Messi and the way they even I think Casillas, someone else, I can't remember who it was. No, getting my wires crossed.
But yeah, that was a few years ago. Yeah. We were there together. Luckily, it's actually good to. It's been a couple of times where we've been together over there.
Sure, good to go back home.
That was good. Yeah, back to Peru. It's always good
smiles,
to get back there.
Con la familia. Next photo.
Yeah,
hey, finally, there's a brother Chris, because there is another son. Far out, man. You got him hiding there.
Well, you saw him when we was little.
Yeah, true. Very true. My bad.
That was a good year, actually. After 18 years that I had Julio with my sons, with Christian and Adrian, it was really enjoyable.
The World Cup, no?
The World Cup in Russia, yes.
That's actually funny that you were in Barcelona at the same time we were, and I messaged you.
Yeah, that's right.
But I must have been on the non-read messages at that time.
Oh, who knows, man.
I'm not, but it was funny because I get to Russia and he's like, "Oh, Rafa, and then he messaged back, and we just missed you. That would have been awesome to have if we had.
Oh man, 100%. But you know, bro, you know what it is when you travel, man.
But you were traveling through, yeah, no, of course.
Yeah,
but
it was I think that was the first round the world trip that I did. But I was so tempted to come over to Russia because obviously, you know, I was in Europe, man. But. You know what it was though? I was there for work. You got to remember, and actually it was pretty full on to be honest. And as an amazing experience as it was very taxing and obviously takes up a lot of time and energy. Yeah. That's 2018, and so the boys in Russia, that would have been a crazy experience, right?
Crazy, man.
Yeah,
crazy.
A lot of people said that Russia was not what they expected. Like it was super warm and welcoming, and they had a great time.
Definitely.
And the Russian people were awesome too. That's what I've been told by a few different people.
I only found out after some of the cities we'd been to that there were actually high risk for terrorism and certain things like that. So I only found out after if there was anything wrong where we were, but. It was so good over there. It was a great experience. Everyone's happy.
Yeah, that's what I heard from a few different people that went.
The first city we arrived to, Kazan, was a bit shady. It was like, whoa.
Sure.
When we got there, because we booked late, we had to book like far away.
Sure.
And
so
it's like
travel a bit.
We get there and it's like, where am I? Like it was,
like
you're getting an Uber from the station to the middle of nowhere. We stayed in a couple of middle of nowhere places. It was funny.
Peru was one of the last
qualifiers.
It was Peru, the second
last Latin American country.
It was Peru,
last Latin American country and second last out of all countries. So obviously Peruvian fans, they struggled to get the best accommodation and even tickets to the games.
And we only made the decision in like
February
or
when they qualify, we decided.
Business trip.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure you can see in the reflection in the window there. You can see that you got some clients that you went to see in Russia.
There was a tax conference in Moscow.
Of course there was. That's
only one third of it. You know, going to learn the whole lot, but
fair enough. Yeah. Okay, cool, man. Great times.
And then that's interesting photo. Yeah, that
was with El Gregorio Pernia, El Titi. He came last year for Colombian independence.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Going back to the sponsoring, I guess, ATIC have also involved sponsoring quite a few events as well in the Latin community.
Sure.
So whether it be Sydney, Melbourne, and that's where the Brisbane stuff came into it. And that's why we sort of expanded to Brisbane.
So he's a well-known Colombian artist.
Yeah, he was here last year for Colombian independence.
Sure. Yeah, and big Colombian community in Sydney, in Australia for all of you that don't know.
Lucky enough that I met him, you know, for nice fellow.
Sure.
Very nice fellow.
Awesome. Some of the good, more fun bits of getting involved in events and stuff is obviously you get to do some pretty cool social things. Yeah. Next photo, please. Oh,
wow!
Oh my God,
you know
Leo!
Look at Leo, yeah.
Mira lo que parece Leo. Parece un pendejo. ¿Cuánto tiene ahí? 20 años.
That's like Alfredo too.
Alfredo,
if I'm not wrong, that is at BJ's.
Yeah, that's the DJ booth. Yeah, that's the DJ booth at BJ's. Yeah, which was a very, very well-known, popular Latin nightclub in Sydney, late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah, Dante.
Leo used to run the door there, didn't he?
Leo was on the door. Yeah, Leo was on the door.
Yeah, that's right.
It's actually one of the venues where, you know, you could definitely say that I myself started a big part of my career is kind of launched there in many ways. Y La Familia as well. You know, I jumped on stage with with Son Veneno, with Candela, even with Elvis Crespo, and we did a lot of things in there, a lot of great memories at BJ's.
Well, that's when I first saw you live.
Yeah, for sure. So of course. Well, it was.
I'm sure it was for many.
Yeah, it was the place. I mean, on the Latin side, it was very much so BJ's for me as a kid, and great memories there. And we're looking at a very young Julio there, looks like a matador.
I don't know, but I mean, I was younger then. That's for
definitely.
Sure.
Yeah.
Imagine they had Tinder back then.
That probably didn't exist then, eh?
Thankfully so.
Thankfully you didn't need Tinder back then.
You didn't need it, no. I didn't need it. Neither did I. Oops. Next photo, please. Oh, wow. This is black and white now.
This is going back, wow, probably
what's happening here?
55 years ago. That was my christening.
Oh, wow. So you're the little kid down the bottom there?
That's correct. Yeah, that's me. 55
looks like Christian, huh?
ago.
Yeah, he does actually look like Christian, man. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that was Los
Black and white
Padrinos.
days. Yeah, I love seeing these photos of our people's in those eras. You know, the suits and everything, and the hairstyles, and it was a very serious thing. You know? Yeah. It was full on.
If you ever do a podcast with Dante, make sure you get the photos from me, please.
You've got some good ones. I'll keep that in mind.
Good ones.
Definitely, we're going to get Choche on soon. I don't think I've spoken too much to him about it, but definitely it's only a matter of time because that'll be an awesome conversation to have with the OG. Next photo, please, Paulie, if you've got any more there, brother. Oh,
look at that!
I remember seeing you there at this event.
Yes, I was there.
Yeah,
that's right. Yes,
they definitely don't dress the same as everyone else.
Who, the couple there? No.
Yeah. ¿Cómo era se llamaban,
La Factoría.
La Factoría, man. That was an awesome little show, man.
Yeah.
Awesome event as well. It was fun. It was
good for a Sunday. Another one where the KPIs were outdone couldn't believe it for a Sunday.
You know, I think also when you deliver as far as the vibe and the sound and the music and the, you know, I think people, you know, want to have a few more drinks and whatever, and they're happy to be there, and you know that
it's something we need more of in Sydney or in Australia from a community sense, definitely.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No, that was an awesome show, man, and definitely OG's La Factoría. I was actually surprised for a lot of their run. I was in Australia at the time, and I didn't get to really see or feel their run, let's say. But when they started playing hit after hit after hit, I was like, dude, these guys are massive. They're like 15 hits or something. So it was pretty cool. That was awesome.
Yeah, they do a good show. Again, comes down to I guess the timing maybe. Again, could have had a lot more people.
Sure.
At each of the events, you probably 50 to 100 short, but again, they put on a good show.
Amazing show, yeah, and cool people too. Show. Yeah, cool people too.
They're cool. I still keep in contact with them as well. They're awesome. Alpha from they live in Cartagena, so
okay, fair enough.
If I ever get to go back to Colombia, I'll be definitely going over there.
Sure, I love La Costa. Yeah, I love going there, man. Definitely.
Wow, listen.
Alu.
Photo.
Alu, no?
Yes. There's
I recognize a lot of faces in this one.
That's the photo when we
that was the winning year.
Championship. Yes, 1995 or 96. I can't even remember the year, but there was a lot of good friends from there. You know, good memories. They're probably the best memories of soccer that here in Australia.
There.
Cristiano.
Yeah, Cristiano.
El pelado Félix Paso. El Indio, el Saladiario, el Arquero. El Arquero and the goalkeeper and I think that we're the oldest in that team. We were, I think, 35. 25 years
I remember seeing most of these people at Latin Night Marconi.
Yeah, probably some of them. But very good friends.
Gus was DJing Bonasso probably.
Yeah, he was actually. Yeah, he was. And I used to see Chris all the time there.
Al final, Duncan, that was a good player.
Yeah.
El Paraguay, the good team.
Good times.
All the guerreros, you know. No one was the star, and that's why we probably won the championship back in that year. It was a good team.
Fun times con la pelota.
Wow, that's receiving the trophy when we won the championship.
Is that with that same team, yeah?
Then that's right. Yeah, they had
looking good there. Again, the fashion gives away the era.
Yes,
slightly baggy and whatever. Yeah.
I was fit as a fiddle then. I was in my prime in that year.
Looks like a scene out of the Narcos TV show on Netflix.
Yeah, I've seen that actually. I've seen it a few times.
It's pretty good, man. Yeah, los gringos, they did a good job with it.
Yeah, that was good memories. Yes. Yeah. No, this
one's a little bit blurry, man. And this is definitely this is 70s now, right?
No, that was before we came to Australia, and we were everyone there. From the left top, My brother passed away in 1986. Actually, that was the year that Adrian was born. That was next me, my eldest brother.
Look, what a Maui.
Yeah.
Mom, dad,
Mira el Dante,
my
boludo. En
sister.
la jeta, boludo. Se ríe como... He's still got the same face,
sister,
man.
my down underneath were my brother and sister, the last two brothers and sisters.
La familia.
Here. Yeah, that was nice photo. That's a good memory. I reckon I was half tipsy then back then in that photo, by the looks of it.
Looks like your family's carrying you.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Angelo, gotta take a photo, man. Stand up.
Yeah, I think it was the last day. I think, I don't know. It was a great time just before we left.
Good
we
to
remember all
see,
the
bro.
nights.
Good
My
to see La
uncle took
Familia.
a porn star there.
That was the last one, Paulie. Thank you, man. That was
you.
awesome,
That was
man. Thank
fun.
you
That
for
was
that. That was
brilliant.
good little...
Memories, good memories.
yeah.
Good memories.
Good little walk down, down the road of history con La Familia and
Yes.
fun times and bits and pieces. I know before the show I mentioned that it was very important that if you guys wanted to say something, to send a message or to give thanks or give a shout out or whatever it is that you wanted to do, that this space is for that, and it's an avenue and it's a window and a door. Did you want to say anything like that before we wrapped it up, gentlemen? Anything that you'd like to add to the conversation?
Personally, as a person and as a company of tax agents, and with the help of a lot of from Adrian, we're there to help the community, to help them out. In whichever way possible, as much as we can.
Sure.
Whether it's tax or whether they want to have a chat on the business or any other things. We're there for them, especially the students, the English barrier sometimes, they very hard for them. And we're just there to help them because in our office, everyone speaks Spanish and English, so and Adrian as well. So just for the community mainly, that we're there for them to help them.
Yeah, like to help out.
Yeah.
I myself know from watching what you guys are doing. I know that you guys are doing a lot through COVID as well, and offering some discounts and some things and packages and things, which is great to see, because particularly now more than ever, I think the community needs it. Not only our own community, but the entire sort of global community. So that's great to see. And I look forward to much more. Adrian, anything?
No, as following on from my dad, I guess we've come a long way in the last few years.
Yes, you have.
There have been a lot of challenges, as many businesses have. So whoever has a business out there, whether it be a small, rather large, they all have challenges. It's the way that you deal with it. It's the way how you overcome it. And how you take it. I guess just don't, if you want to be in business, if you want to have that for the next 10 to 15 years or whatever it is, next year is going to be another challenge. COVID's you're going to have challenges. So I guess just stick to what you're doing and keep that network and keep that support network around you, and that will allow you to go and keep going, because I myself have had challenges, as my dad has, as you have, as everyone has. But we're all here still
standing.
That's right.
Fingers crossed I'll still be here and being able to do what I do, because I'm doing it because I want to, and because I actually enjoy doing it.
And you're passionate. I can tell.
I'm passionate. At the end of the day, the challenges will be there. Just take them on as positive as you can, and I guess that just keep going.
Yes, my friends, indeed. That's a beautiful message, I think, to end the show on, and I'd like to thank you for joining me on Expansion. It was an honor and a pleasure to have you both.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, please, and let's continue working together.
100%.
It's the first, hopefully, of many shows. The door's open. If there's anything we can do to support and to spread the word. I know many people treat their media, their social media, like prime real estate, like a house in bloody Bellevue Hill or something. But, I think the message could be a quick share, a quick like, a comment. It's not that hard, but it means a lot for businesses and people trying to spread their word or whatever. So I encourage everyone to, be a little bit more proactive with that and don't be so guarded or not jealous, but whatever word it is I'm looking for, that they, I don't want to just do it. Just,
it takes
just share.
2 seconds.
2 seconds. Yeah.
And again, it goes around, it comes around,
Definitely.
So if someone does help you now.
Yeah, be the first. Be the first to go through.
I've seen a lot in the past about that and about supporting. It's big, and that all helps.
Doesn't take much.
No,
it doesn't take much. Yeah, all you got to do is be open to it, and then everything else falls into place from there. But gents, once again, señores, muchísimas gracias, Adrián.
Thank you.
Gracias, mi hermano. Don Julio, un placer. El OG. Mame, muchas gracias. Un placer, señor. De corazón, se los agradezco. And again, we just like to thank our foundation sponsors for supporting us. Crash Claim, meeting new friends by accident, and of course Q Corp Construction. Thank you to our production team, our video switchers, for everything that they do. My boy Paulie B, you want to say anything before we go, Paulie?
It was really good.
Amazing. You have such a way with words. And our boy Eddie, man, shout out to you, my brother. God bless. Muchas gracias, mi gente. We look forward to catching you on the next show, Expansion Podcast. Please share. Tell everybody, tell the world. Muchas gracias. Ciao, ciao. Opa!
Wow.
Yape!
Ooh, how long was that?
1.5?
No, it's a couple of hours for sure.
Hour 50.
Yeah, a couple of hours.
Right there, man. Well done, boys.
Expansion.